As a football player, when everything is going well, you feel like you're on top of the world. Especially when you have a football club and they're paying you well, they're even paying you less. You're playing, you're training every single day. You don't have the time to feel or fall into a depressive state. You know, Life just gets you to that point where you question your life and your purpose when, for example, you're no longer playing, you don't have a football team, you're no longer working different in the job you were doing before when things were okay. Things were at least manageable, not even okay where you would have expected, where you would want, but like when things were okay. But like it's very common to have depressive thoughts for so many athletes, sports people, because once the music stops playing, the music of having a career stops playing, you pause. You're not used to living slowly. You start questioning your life and thinking, where am I? What is next? What am I gonna do? How do I survive? And things like this are very normal. I am trying to stay positive as I can. You can still me smiling. If I don't come here and say these things, you would never know. You see me smiling every single day, but like I know what I go through. I know the thoughts that go through my mind. I know how difficult it is to overcome these thoughts and just go about my day. But it's just life. What can we do? And when tough day, there's a saying I always make and tell my people that tough times don't last, but tough people do. Everybody knows this statement, but not everybody applies it. Not everybody remembers it. And once you live by this principle that every tough time that comes to your life is also gonna pass, good times are gonna pass, life is gonna pass. Whatever you're going through, you drink water today, tomorrow you're gonna get thirsty. Tasty. I always struggle to pronounce this one. You eat today, you're gonna be hungry tomorrow. And I'm not trying to pretend and build this quote and unquote perfect life online that people always think most people have. I'm a human being, and being a human being involves ups and downs. Being a human being involves having some good times, some positive times, having some negative times as well. So like most people that go through this, especially for athletes in particular, life can happen quickly, and injury can happen quickly, and life just feels like you are in the middle of a desert. No phones, no water, no food, no means of transportation to find your way out. You're just there, looking. But the worst part about this happening now is that you have most of these things. You have food, you have a place to stay, you have phones, you have things to work at, you can run, but you still feel like you are in the desert. And that's the worst feeling possible, and questioning yourself, what am I going to do with my life? What's going to happen to me next? How long is this going to continue? But I want to encourage you, anybody going through the same situation, if you are going through the same situation, it will pass. Life's going to happen. Tough times are going to come. Struggles are going to come. Mental stresses are going to come. These depressive thoughts are going to come. But we are much more stronger than this as human beings. As a person, I am stronger. As a person, you are stronger. As a man, as a woman, you are stronger. As a boy, as a girl, you are stronger. We overcome these things and live every single day with a smile, with a poker face, going back to routines, because we are strong people that can overcome whatever challenges that come our way. It takes one to look inside to generate this strength, looking inwards to understand that this strength is down there. You don't need an external factor to even understand how strong you are as a person. Sometimes it's just looking inwards. Of course, hearing some encouraging words from people around, support from family and friends, and things like that. They put you in a situation where you pause, give yourself the opportunity to feel bad and look inwards and try to find your inner self, trying to find your inner strength to get yourself out of this dark place. You know, and again, the challenge of moving abroad is also part of this. Living abroad is a good thing, especially if you're coming from a third world country, quote and unquote. But nobody speaks about the struggles of losing your friendships, struggles of being far away from your family, the struggles of moving away from where you were born, the struggles of living in a place where you built so many childhood memories, the struggles of living a place where you ate the food that you've eaten all your life, that you've grown with. Nobody speaks about the thought of feeling like you abandoned who you are for greener pastures. So like the struggles of moving abroad is real. People underestimate what can happen on the negative side of moving abroad or moving to another country, moving to another continent. Yes, it's good. You have better opportunities, you get better standard of living. But mentally, what are we losing? On the other hand, what are we really losing? You're losing friendships, you're losing time, real time with your family, you're losing time with your loved ones, you're losing time from the things that has made you who you are, the things that you were supposed to grow from and through. But you leave these things, leave everything behind to move to a place where you become a second class citizen. If you're a citizen already, you leave these things and you leave these things all in the name of trying to make your life better. But at the same time, are we really making life better, or we're just in mediocrity, just in a bigger sphere of mediocrity? We'll make money, we'll try to get a house or something back home where we don't live, where we'll visit once or twice a year or once in a few years. We'll leave our parents that grow older, that we see them once or twice a year or once in a year. Like if we look at it from the perspective of how we meet our parents, for example, we will understand that if you see your mom or dad once a year, and your mom is probably like 50 years or 55 years, it means like you probably have like 30 more times to see your mom or spend time with your mom before they die, because everybody's gonna die. And then when you look at it like this, you feel like, damn, am I really gaining or am I really losing out? Like it just feels like I have left everything behind to miss everything behind. And yes, of course, JB, it's for everything we're doing is for the people we love, for the people we care about, to give them better lives, to give ourselves better life. But is that the end of it all? Is that where life stops? How does it really make their life better by not seeing us? Or does it really make their life does it really make them satisfied that their son is gone, their daughter is gone, and they don't see you anymore for a while, just in the name of trying to make life better for them? I don't think it does. It's just heartbreaking when you think about it this way. I see my mom. Before I saw my mom last year, before I saw her that last year, it was about 8 years. 7, 8 years not seeing my mom. 6 7 years not seeing my mom. And then she's gone again, and it's already 1 year again. I'm not seeing her, and not seeing her, not seeing my brothers, my sisters offline. And then you're thinking, wow, is this what life is really about? Is this what I've been doing? Is this what I've been chasing all along, trying to run away from my family to give them a better life? And most of them are even adults, have their own families. You're thinking, damn, I've lost out on so much. I don't even have real friends. I don't really have friends because I don't even know how to have a friend anymore. I don't even know how to be a real friend. I know I'm a good friend, but I don't even know how to build real friendships anymore because you leave people. The real friends I've had, I've changed. I went to 3 high schools. I barely remember a few people. I remember my classmates. You check and there's no time, there's no environment to build these strong friendships anymore. Just because we're always on the move. So it's difficult to build strong friendships, strong relationships with people that last you for a lifetime. When I look at people that have been friends for 20, 25, 30 years, I just like smile. I'm be like, wow. They must have been in touch. They must have been seeing each other once in a while, like real friendships, of course. I think real friendships stay in touch no matter what. But like they would have, before a real friendship would stay in touch at a long distance, they would have stayed together in a very close environment that they would have built a very strong foundation for each other. That distance does not change that from them. But once you are in a place where you haven't really met a lot of people, or you haven't really had time to build strong relationships, strong friendships with people, and you now leave, it feels like you were never there because there was no time to build strong connections with these people, and you suffer for it. They don't suffer for it because if you're in an environment where if they're at home, they don't really suffer for it, But moving as an immigrant, you're not home. You suffer most for it because you're far away from the real friends, especially when you're different like me, being black in a white country. It's even crazier, it's even more stressful, and it just hits hard, trust me. But life will continue. What are we gonna do? Stop? No, we have to keep going, for the people we love, for the people we care about, for ourselves, for the people